Hi, how are you guys? And we are so glad to meet you today and elated to have two of you gracing the cover of High on Persona magazine, our forthcoming edition. So we are really glad to have you guys in the cover of the magazine.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
Okay, so I would like to begin with
Are
you,
we frozen?
Maheep. Okay, so Maheep, I would like to begin with you. Fabulous lives of Bollywood vibes. How fabulously now, life is treating you now post the success of your show. And how are you responding to the mixed reactions, applaud and trolling both happening at the same time?
It's been 2 weeks. I think this is the third week running. I'm just
Mhm.
absorbing it all in. Um, I was expecting people to be curious about the show, but the amount of love that's come our way from women is just overwhelming. So I'm honestly on an adrenaline rush. And as far as the trollers are concerned, I've said this before, there's a flip side to a coin. Everyone is not going to understand us, everyone's not going to get us. But frankly, I don't get them either because there's no need to be so nasty. But I ignore them. They're just noise in the background. I'm so focused on the overwhelming love, and there's so much of it that that's just noise. It's better to focus on the blessings and the love and the praise that you're getting. So I'm a little overwhelmed. Adrenaline rush is just constantly going in my veins. So absorbing it.
Great. And what about you, Seema? How are you responding to this?
So, much like her, I'm in a bit of shock because I knew that this show would. I had that positive feeling about the show. I knew that people would be curious, and I knew that some would like it and some would hate it, of course. But this amount of love, I think it's outweighing the negative. The positive for me is outweighing the negative. Also, because to be honest, I'm living a little in a little bubble in La La Land, and I'm very happy here. I'm concentrating on the love, and I am feeling so much of gratitude for everything that has come my way, and I'm feeling so much of love that I'm overwhelmed, to be honest. And it's just I'm floating, I'm enjoying that, I'm choosing to concentrate on that. And yeah, I think it's just been amazing, and I want to thank everyone out there for just accepting us and understanding us. And it's just been lovely to see this kind of positivity come our way.
Okay. You guys have already answered the questions related to what prompted you actually to do the show and how was your response before the show hit OTT platform. I would rather like to ask you, about your forthcoming now future plans after post the success of the show. What are your plans now on professional front?
I mean,
Um,
honestly, at the moment, first thing I've learned in 2020 is don't make plans. Just go with the flow. And at the moment, the show has dropped. I'm still absorbing all this in. But hopefully, if Netflix gives us the green signal, season two will happen. And yeah, then the rest, let's go with the flow. Let's see what happens.
True. Yes, Siba, what about you?
so for me, the thing is, right now, of course, it's a time of just I've pressed pause on my life, and I just want to absorb what I'm experiencing. This is a once in a lifetime experience, and it's a memory that I'm going to keep for life. It's just I'm concentrating on that, and of course, we've been in a pandemic this whole year, so everything has been on pause. So I think I've just started working again in the last 2 months, and my work is touchwood keeping me very busy because I'm doing very selective work. But right now I'm planning to take 2 weeks off, and then come January I will press reset and I will regroup, and then I will strategize again. And hopefully I will have my hands full because I'll have, like, hopefully we'll have season 2 if they green light it. And my work as well, I want to go back to my pop-ups because that's what I enjoyed the most. But that can only happen when this COVID situation ends. Yeah.
True.
So I'm looking
So,
forward to that.
sure. So, in the show, we've seen you guys sharing good time together, fabulous time together, partying and having holiday, going for holidaying and all that. I'm sure, just like anybody else, you guys must be having your moments of gloominess and sadness at times. So, how much actually do you share that part with each other, and how much you depend on each other when it comes to, sharing your sad moments?
I think for women, it's very important to have your girlfriends and to share these sad, tough moments, you know. And we've been friends for 25 years, 25, 26 years. So we've really gone through a lot of milestones together, whether it's a birth of our children, or whether it is a marriage, or whether it is, I mean, now this is a massive milestone that we've all taken together. So yeah, so there's a big bonding that we do have, you know, and yeah, it's going to continue like that.
What about you, Seema?
So, here's what I think. I think the sad moments and the lows in life bond you much more than the highs. And I think that is the basis of our friendship, is that we've gone through so many lows along with the highs, but we've had a lot of lows and we've had some pretty turbulent weather. And I think we've stuck through it and we've actually leaned on each other for support. And that's what's kind of made us and created the bond that we have today. It doesn't happen in 2 years or 3 years. This is a bond that takes time. It takes life experiences and tough situations and rough times. When you stick through thick and thin, they say now, when you stick thick and thin, that's when you reach this point in a relationship, any relationship. And I think that's the basis of our friendship, that we're there for each other to lean on whenever one needs it.
Great. So, who remains the most dependable when it comes to giving very practical and very pragmatic advice? Who's the most dependable out of, four of you?
I go to Seema if there's something that
Okay.
is bothering me, or it's something that I need to ask and see another point of view. Yeah, I go
Yeah,
to Seema.
and I think for me also, I'd go to Mahip. I mean, it's not a hidden fact that Mahip and I are very, very close. So I think we both lean on each other. There are times that she needs me, and there are many times that I need her. And I think that's where we pull through for each other. And for the other two also, we are, as a unit, the four of us, we have our own group chat, and we are constantly leaning on each other for every little thing. So it's kind of it goes both ways. But for
So,
advice in particular, I would go to Mahip.
I mean, be it any issue or any matter under the sun, you guys can openly and freely discuss with each other, Mahip and you.
Yes, there's nothing that's off the table. There's
All
nothing.
right. Okay.
So, how has been the response at home, guys? How the kids or the family has taken it?
Well, my son saw the trailer first and he said, Mama, my teachers are going to see this. You know that, no? So I think he was a little bit like, what's happening? But once the show dropped,
Okay.
all my kids' friends, my daughter's friends, my son's friends, they have just gone ballistic about the show. And so I think they're feeling proud. They're not saying it, but I think that I can see it, especially my son. My daughter is very vocal. So she said, Mama, well done. It's outstanding. You guys were so good. You were so amazing. She was giving me tips on this. I felt this. I felt that. So there was a conversation.
Right.
But I think they're very proud. So
And
it's good.
what about you, Seema?
So my kids, my younger one is very little. On the first day the show dropped, he was very confused. Like he was very clingy that day, and he could not understand. But Mama, why are you coming on TV? Why are you doing this? But I think by the next day he was very confused what actually happened, because he's all of 8 years old, but 9 now. But he, at that point, he was confused. The next morning, when it had reached number one, he went crazy. He came running into my room. Mama, your show is number one. Mama, your show is number one. He called all his friends in to see his mama's show is number one.
Right.
And my older son, Nirvan, he has always been very supportive from day one. He was so excited when the trailer dropped. He was like, "Can I?" He was in America at that time, so the time difference. He kept saying that, okay, is it 10:30 yet? Can I post it? Is it 10:30 yet? Can I post it? And once the show came, he was like, yeah, it's good, it's good. Then he came back to Bombay, and we were chatting and everything. He says, honestly, I don't want it to go to your head, but it was damn good. So I was like, okay. So I know he's secretly proud of me. But boys, they don't say too much. Boys are very held back with their words, and their compliments don't come very easily to them.
That part
That
about
much
me,
also-
yes. That we
That
have
much is
seen.
also a huge compliment.
That we have seen this trait of Nirvan in the show only.
Yeah. He's a very he chun chun ke his one liners. He gives me his one liners, and I have to read between the lines. But I guess that's what mothers do. They know how to read between the lines.
Right. So you guys are working professionals also, and you are very deeply involved into your families. So how do you maintain a work-life balance? Yes, Mahip, sure.
No, go ahead. Seema, start.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm still asking myself this question. And my producer says to me, Anisha, she says, you have a method to your madness. Like, she discovered this about me. She says, I thrive in chaos. There is a method to my madness, but honestly, even I haven't figured out that method. I just managed to do it, but I want to tell you something, that I think this is the case with all women. I think women in general wear so many different hats that they're constantly multitasking. I mean, they're working, they're mothers, they're wives, they're daughter-in-laws. It's like women can do anything. They thrive in chaos,
Right.
and they pull out of it like you can't imagine. I just feel we can do. When I'm at this point in my life, I'm thinking, like, is there anything left now for me to do? It's like that. So I think there's a method to my madness, but I get the job done. How I do it, I don't know, but I do.
Yes. So coming back to Mahip, what about you?
Same, I agree with Seema. I mean, women, when they're put in that situation, they just manage. Now, how I manage, I don't know, but we just multitask. It just happens. And I speak for all women. All women, it's
Yeah.
very easy. They can do it. It's not a big deal. So I manage quite easily and comfortably.
So I'm very
Any
curious.
mantra would you like to, Mahip? Any mantra, any practice you would like to share with us? Any tips for working women who happen to be housewives also?
I mean, honestly, I'm nobody to give women tips, because I've seen with close quarters that I've seen with my mom also. I've seen with my sister-in-law also. Women manage. I think it's a women's power. If I have to say, they just manage very smoothly. It's no big deal. Children, housework, husbands, socializing, plus this show. It just happens.
For women, I'd like to say one thing. I think women should not neglect themselves. Actually, I think it's very important for you to first be happy yourself, because only when you are happy can you make others around you happy. If you are not content and happy yourself, there's no way you can please anyone else. So I think in general, women need to kind of make themselves a priority, which I see now. It's of course true, but when I look at my mom's life in that generation, I felt that at times, very often, they didn't make themselves a priority. So it became, they couldn't work. They were mostly housewives. Now today you see a lot more women working than you did then. I think there are other reasons, of course, but a large part of it is that you need to concentrate on yourself. You need to be able to be happy yourself first and content before you try and make everybody around you happy.
Right. So I'm very curious to know which part of the show is real and which is fictional. So which scenes or which sequences which are real and which are fictional? Would like to know.
It's all real.
Nothing
It's
is fiction.
Nothing is fictional. I mean, the situations were given to us,
Right.
but then we were just let loose,
Right.
and the cameras just rolled, and there's nothing at all.
All the conversations were organic. Everything was reality. If we shot for 2 hours, you're seeing 4 minutes out of that 2 hours. So if you're seeing 8 episodes, they must be having content worth for at least multiplied by I don't know how many episodes, because it was it was just us. There was no script. There was no action and cut. So I guess it was, when you're chatting and you got to pick up the best bits, right? But it's like, it's reality at the end of the day. So it's just cameras are rolling and you're just having your conversations. But totally nothing is scripted in there.
Were you also being shown the final part before the complete, production work was out there? Were you also shown the parts that were going to be selected and kept in the show?
No.
No, we
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 Okay.
got to see the show before it dropped.
Okay.
Honestly, I was just looking like, oh my god, my side profile looks like that, my backside looks
All
like
right.
this, and my voice is like this. I was just absorbing all that. Honestly, I had to see the show again to understand. I was only looking at. I was getting a little mortified seeing myself, but yeah, we weren't shown that this is going to be there or that. That's the production. They decide what they want to pick and choose, and that's it.
So, any side of your personality that you think has not been highlighted in this season, and we can see other side or something that has been left in next season or something? Mahip?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
yeah, I mean, you've seen the tip of the iceberg, and you've just seen how much can you know about our lives in 8 episodes. I mean, there's a lot more to us, but I think you've got the general idea of what kind of people we are, our personalities. But you can't know us in 8 episodes. Impossible.
Right.
Honestly, like Seema said, we just scratched the surface. If season 2 happens, then there'll be a lot more of madness and a lot more of me. I don't know. I don't know. Just
Yes.
go with the flow.
Okay then. Yes.
You guys, did you feel that you wanted to say a specific thing or something nice or something bad to somebody, amongst four of you, which you could not say at that time? Maybe you can say that now at this platform. लाइक इसको तो मैंने ये बोलना था, इसको तो मैं देख लूंगी नेक्स्ट सीजन में, या कुछ ऐसा जो आपको रियलाइज हुआ बाद में कि ये भी बोलना चाहिए था, ऐसा कुछ?
Not really.
Not really. I mean, you always think that, okay, you know what, my explanation should have been longer, or you know what, I could have said 4 more lines here. Like you don't have that much time. I mean, obviously, we did say a lot more, but that's up to the producer and how they edit it and how they put it together. But I think we pretty much say everything we need to each other. There's nothing like we want to add in. No.
Okay. Seema, you look like a person who's, a childlike person. I can see a lot of, very naughty kind of a person. From your eyes and face and expressions only during the show, I could sense. I may be wrong also, but that's my observation about you. So, how are you as a child? Would like to know a little bit about your childhood also. Were you the naughty sort of a person like we could see in the show?
Look, you know what? I have been told and accused of being childlike, but I think, isn't it nice to have that? I take it as a compliment because, quite frankly,
Yes.
isn't it? Life is so stressful in general, and it's so serious for you all the time. Don't you? When you look at a child, don't you miss that? So I feel like that
True.
childish part of me is me, because it just helps me unwind. It helps me de-stress. I have enough and more time to be serious and stressed. So, and I think the thing about my friends is, I think that's what they like about me, because they know that's my personality. I'm crazy. I'm spontaneous and I'm crazy, and they never know what will come out of my mouth next. And I think as a child also, when we are sitting at a lunch table with my parents, and I have 2 siblings, I have a brother and a sister, and sometimes they look at me and say, please don't say that out loud. Please do not say this in public. There's another thing that Mahip has the same lines with me. Seema, please don't say this in public. Please don't say this out loud, because I have no filter. But as a child, I would say yes. I think I've always been like this. I've been not naughty. I was not naughty, but I always was looking for the fun in everything. And I was always, at the end of the day, I think about me is that I love a good laugh, and I like to make people laugh, because I think that there's no better feeling in the world than having a good laugh. Like, you feel so good about yourself, and life in general is when you dil khol ke you laugh, it feels good. So I think that is a trait that's always been there about me. And honestly, people are always laughing at me. It's fine. I'm okay with it. Laugh at me. ठीक है.
Absolutely. I agree. Many women, can relate with you, Seema. And, the way you have been forthright and, without filters, you've been saying things, and people have appreciated that, trait of about your personality. And Mahi, back to you. You look very upfront and vocal. Did you had any second thoughts during the show to have, avoided saying a certain things or undo a certain part? Also would like to know if being forthright and vocal has helped you on your work front or had any kind of adverse effect on a few things.
Mm, listen, if I was not myself in the show and I had to pretend to be someone else, it would have never worked. I had to be me, and this is the way I am. Quite frankly, I'm constantly like this with all these girls. So no. And has it benefited me being this way? I don't know. It's only been 3 weeks, and so I've not felt that benefit. And the adverse effect also I've not felt, because we've really not taken the time to explore ourselves. There's no other ways.
Not related to the show only, but in your usual day-to-day work life also, have you ever felt that being forthright or being very straightforward also has its own adverse effect, because people don't take the things the way you want to tell them, they take it otherwise at times. So any kind of has it benefited you?
Well, honestly, I hope that women take something from this and are forthright and are black and white and are a little more assertive. I think women need to learn that. So I hope that they're picking up on this. But other than that, now, what should I say? As far as my jewelry and my work is concerned, I've always been like that. It's always been black and white. I don't like to be gray, so to speak, talk in the middle. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to say because this is me, I've not pretended to be anything else. I just am very, very grateful that I was expecting to be very misunderstood, to tell you honestly. But that has not happened. I was on a fine line. I could have been very, very misunderstood. But I think women are getting me. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
Yes. So if you have to plan a destination for the second season, what would it be?
New York or Vegas,
Okay.
somewhere really insane where we can party and we can shop and be a little more extra. So, yeah.
So what is your favorite destination right now, apart from New York or Vegas? Somewhere in Europe. If I have to send you there, then where would you pick?
Send me
Mahip
anywhere in
is the
Europe.
best. Mahip is the best
So,
planner.
yeah, anywhere. Tell me. Spain. I think we should
Right.
be in Spain.
Yeah,
You know
I love
Spain? Yeah.
I love Spain.
So
Yeah.
Honestly,
So, I don't know.
who is the biggest foodie among the lot?
that would
Foodie,
be
I
Neelam.
think Neelam. Yeah.
That
Neelam
She's
is
a
does.
follower
very, very
of Neelam.
fond of food.
Okay. And
But
who?
having
Yes.
said that, I think all four of us enjoy food. I think
Right.
we've come to that point where we are all for that. You know, those are the few things we bond on. We enjoy good food. I mean, I'm always watching my calories, which is not a hidden fact, but fine. That doesn't stop me from eating. Because on that Sunday when I want to eat, then you have to see me eat. I can eat everything. I eat non-stop till 12 o'clock at night, and the minute it becomes 12, I'm like, okay, theek hai, Monday I started now, bas.
And who is the one who put most limitations on food? Ye nahi, wo nahi. Who is the most picky one?
Bhavna.
But
Right.
She's
We
the
have
one who's
seen.
got the allergies and the issues, and
Right.
she doesn't like most
she can't eat many things.
many, many things. Yeah. So she has a lot of restrictions.
And who is the biggest shopaholic in this whole lot? In the four mad
Seema.
crazy group.
That would be me.
Right.
Guilty as charged.
So yes, coming
So
back to
how
Kanchana.
picky, yeah, Seema, how picky are you about the brands? I mean, are you a brand kind of a person, or you would pick just anything from a flea place also, depending on your personality and the style and the comfort, quotient?
So look, you know what? I don't follow trends and I don't look like this was last season and this is this season. Nothing like that. For me, a shop is a shop. You take me anywhere. I love a good buy. And I especially like to find things that, you don't constantly see by brands and four people have the same thing or five people have the same thing. I feel like I've really struck gold when I find that one outfit. I know, this is an unknown brand and no one has heard of it and it fits amazing and it's amazing fabric. I For me that is like a high. So no, I don't follow any trends and I'm not partial to any brands. And ऐसा नहीं है कि if it's not my brand, like even amongst Indian designers, I know it's a thing that if you're a designer, why would you wear someone else's brand? But I'm constantly wearing everyone's brands because I like to celebrate fashion as a whole. Doesn't matter who has made it. It looks good on me. I'm wearing it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So while you are holidaying, what is your perfect idea and definition of enjoying your holiday? You want to laze around in the hotel by the poolside, or explore the destination, visit every nook and corner of the city, mingle with people, or just, indulge in shopping or having good food? Mahip and Seema, both of you.
I think all Bhavna at different times.
It depends which,
Food.
yeah. But I do like to explore a new city. I do like to see, try different food. My kids are very fond of all that. They love going to restaurants and trying different things. Sanjay is a big, massive foodie. So yeah, food, exploring the place, meeting the people, all of the above. Depends.
For my family, I think a beach destination. We are all beach bums, from the children to the adults. We are all beach bums. So once or twice a year, we have to take time out and just go to a beach and do nothing, spend quality time with each other, and not be distracted by the shops and the malls and the general thing. It's just about eating and having a good time. But beach holidays are a priority.
You. So now, whose advice are you guys following? Bhavna's way of manifesting beauty, or Neelam's way of going for modern age beauty therapies? Whose advice now you are following, or you have your own skincare regime?
Um, Honestly,
Yeah.
everyone knows it that I don't buy this Reiki facial at all. So that's out of the question. But yeah, I mean now beauty regime is another story. But yeah, I would follow Neelam more for
Okay.
sure.
With me, there's no secret, to be honest, because my reaction to the Reiki was quite obvious. I don't buy into that at all. So I think I will, if and when the time requires, modern medicine is available to us. Why not?
Who loses their cool easily among the lot?
We all lose our cool, quite
Yeah,
frankly. I think we're equal. We're
Right.
equal on that.
yeah.
Okay, and who is Karan Johar's favorite?
It's no secret he's closest to Mahim amongst all four of us.
Right.
Yeah, he's closest to me. Why should I lie?
And who likes to get papped all the time?
Fat? I don't think anyone, because we always feel our pictures are looking bad, we're looking fat, there's a wrong angle. So we are always feeling that, you know,
Okay. And
We can do better.
we can do better.
Who is the biggest gossip monger in the group?
Gossip, though, I don't know. It's not about gossip, but if you need information, Mahip has the information. She's a good person to go for khabar.
Okay. So that's it. We'll wind up this interview for now. Thank you guys for
Thank
you.
doing this.
Thank you so much.
Here only, but it was really overwhelming talking to you guys.
Thank
And
you.
good luck for season 2, and look forward to another session with you soon.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.